Hello and welcome to Blogsprout. I'm LJ, and as you can see, I am in a new location. It's a little messy behind me because I just moved, and I'm so excited to have started this move. Um, but it's a work in progress, so I have been super busy with this move and just getting things set up. It's just been a lot, so I haven't had a lot of time to do this, and I've been saying that for a few months now. And prepping for the move, now moving, now unpacking, the holidays, it's just going to get harder and harder for me. But I still want to do these income reports. I know I'm a little behind on my main site. They are going to come, and more content will be coming out as well on my passion project. Because at the end, I'll talk a little bit about what my plans are for all of my sites and kind of what my new strategy is. So we're looking at month 15 of my public site. If you're interested in finding my public site, you can go to my channel and find it out, but I do not mention it in this video. So this is for a recap of October of 2023. So if we look at the number of articles, there are only 42 articles on this site right now. 0 of them are added, and if you've been following my channel, you know that a lot of the content is using a brand swapping technique where there's a lot of seemingly duplicate type content. So it's pretty easy to make, and I feel like if I can continue with that, I can probably get a lot more up a lot sooner. So if we look at the page views, since July, things have not been going very well. So I'm reporting the Google page views on the left here and the Ezoic page views on the right. You can see it was pretty healthy in July and August, but I got hit by the core update on this site in particular. Not a very good sign. And it even went down more this month. It's very strange that there's such a difference in Google and Ezoic between these two. So that's something I'll have to keep in mind for next month. So if we look at page views for Google Analytics, what it's actually showing us right now is the number of users. You can see that it's fairly consistent, but there is a slight downtrend through the end of the month. But the Ezoic page views, it seems to actually go up slightly. But you can see compared to last month, things were down. There is an extra day in October than there is September. So you'd hope that it'd go up, but it actually went down. And it's not great to see it go down by almost 7%, page views over 10%. And I have not been able to look into why this is happening. So if we look at the traffic sources though, so I have reevaluated how I feel about these traffic sources. My main site was switched to Mediavine, and this site is on Ezoic, and there's drastic different reportings on them. So I think it's kind of hard to say what exactly the proportion is. But what's very strange here is that there's a 17% unknown, and I don't know what that means. So it's very unique that only 31% is coming from Google, but I'm going to assume that that extra 17 is also coming from Google. So over half, which is usually what it is. So if we look at Google Search Console, we can see that the number of clicks went down as well as the number of impressions. So this is in line with the trends on Google Analytics. And we can see the average click-through rate was also lower, but the average position was lower, which is actually a better thing. But this doesn't always necessarily tell you what's actually happening, because if the average position is lower but the impressions is lower as well, that means that you may not be ranking for something. So rather than showing up on the first or second page that you were before, you might now show up on the 100th page, and that's not going to be an impression unless someone goes through 100 pages. So your average position can go down if your actual rankings go down on the list as well, if that makes sense. So if we look at Bing Webmasters, exactly 100 clicks, 4.4 impressions. So click-through rate of 2.2, which is a bit worse than my other sites. So this is definitely telling me that I'm not towards the top of of the results. So if we look at backlinks, I do no active backlinking, and you can tell. You can tell. If we look at Google backlinks, I only have 8, which is one more than last month. But according to Bing, there's only 2, and that was the same as last month. So I do not rely on backlinks, but I think for the longevity and, my upcoming strategies, long-term strategies, will not necessarily focus on backlinking, but I'll focus on making a brand that will naturally create backlinks rather than what I'm doing now, which is a pretty anonymous sort of content website as opposed to like an actual brand. And that's what I'm working on with my social media, and I'll talk about that at the end. So if we look at income, even though I didn't get a ton of traffic, I still made some money. I made $13.59. Not too bad, almost $14. Give me a couple extra coffees throughout the month. And over the course of the year, over an extra $100, which I won't complain about. But ultimately, this isn't going to change all that much. And I'm going to put that all on me. I haven't been putting the effort into this that I need to. But this does go to show that with a platform like Ezoic, you don't need a lot of page views or a lot of content to actually make a little bit of income. And once you make the income like that we're showing right now, it is easier if you put your attention and effort in to build that. Ezoic has some great tools to, help you create more content that they think will succeed. So if we look at the Ezoic income trend, you can see that one day I had over $1, which is awesome. I'm hitting about a $17 EPMV, which is actually pretty healthy for a site like this. I would expect it to be a bit less, to be honest. I was thinking under 15. So to see 17, I'm actually pretty happy with that EPMV. That means if I can scale up the number of visitors, that's a fairly good EPMV for what I think this niche is. But you can see most of the end of October was, between 25 and 50 cents a day. Nothing to run home about, unfortunately. So if we look at the expenses, I had 0 expenses. I am in premium with Ezoic, but I have basically prepaid for quite some time because when I took the other site off, it gave me the credit on the Ezoic platform for premium for upcoming months. And my plan for the future is to add more sites on Ezoic, but I need the traffic to back it up. I don't have that yet. So some of the biggest problems I ran into is I've just been so busy. I've been focusing a lot of my time on my social media content strategy and the move, personal things that I just haven't had enough time to add content to the site, and I have been putting my efforts into other things, some more important things. But I want to take this time to talk about my upcoming plans. So I've been working really, really hard on my social media strategy. This is a completely brand new project that I'm working on. Well, not brand new. I mentioned it quite a few months ago, but it's not related to any of these sites you've seen thus far. And I just surpassed 1,000 followers on TikTok. So I now can go live. I can receive gifts in live. I can add a link in my bio. So this is kind of the time that I get to shift my strategy towards affiliate marketing, getting people to my website, and kind of building that whole brand. It's been pretty slow growth at this point, so it's been difficult, but what I'm kind of hoping to do is once, things are a little less crazy with the move, I'm going to continue with my social media content creation, going live, all of that. But once I feel like I'm pretty settled in here, have some extra time to work on this, I'm going to work on making more content on my website for this social media channel so that I can create content that I can drive traffic to from my social media. So as you get a good following, you can say, hey, I made this review of XYZ. Go check out the full review on my website. These are the highlights. My doggy's up here. So that's kind of what I'm looking to do. I'll be highlighting a lot of the content in my social media, but I want to get a bigger following on that social media so it's easier to drive the traffic. And then I'd like to have the email list. But the first step is continue with the TikTok and Instagram. Then I've really slowed down on YouTube. Then build up the website, because I do have a website for this and I'm getting about 30 or so natural organic clicks, which is not bad. It has about 5 or 6 articles on it. And I haven't been too focused on, targeting keywords, because the idea of this website is that I'm going to drive traffic from social media. So I want to get a higher social media following, because when you get that higher following, let's say 1% of people will click the link in your bio. Well, 1% of 1,000 is 10. And that's not really worth my effort at this point in time. So my effort right now is being spent building up that audience. And then once I feel comfortable about having a solid audience, get them to come to my website, get my list, get on my email list, and go forward from there. So I definitely plan to join Ezoic with this. I wouldn't qualify for Google Ads just yet, I don't think. I could try, and then I would be able to add it to Ezoic. But in the future, once I have that site added to Ezoic, those will be added to this income report as well. And then one of the things I can also do with that particular site is that all of the videos that I've created, been working on, will work on, can add to Humix. And then those can be distributed and bring more traffic / get more revenue by sharing the videos that way. So then kind of I would shift to hopefully having more of a YouTube presence. Right now, in the niche I'm in and the content that I'm able to make, I think the best route for me is that at the moment. So most of my effort has been focused on that. And ideally, I want to get to share that with you, because very exciting. I did make a whopping 2 cents on TikTok Live so far, which is obviously not much, but it's a start. And I'm really excited to kind of start building up this following, because it is something I really enjoy at the same time. So it is a lot easier to be engaged about it all. So I know that was a lot. We talked about, the actual income report for this public site, but I talked about my future plans. And one of the big future plans I have is to get this passion project built up enough and get ads on it, and then drive traffic to it from my TikTok and Instagram. I think it'll be difficult. There's not a ton of search volume to get that traffic, but it is something I think I should start doing, because I have a lot of products, for example, I can review, and tips and tricks. I could make a lot of content. The issue is it just takes a lot of time, and right now you can tell I don't have a lot of time on my hands. I also need to take pictures. I want to go all out making it really, really good content, and I just haven't had the time to really do it right now. But I appreciate you guys for listening to, this update and income report. There will be more coming. I can't guarantee when it's coming out next, because things have been busy. I just set up the computer yesterday to actually make this video. So I appreciate all you guys, and I hope you can forgive me for being so absent right now, because it has been difficult on my end. So thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.